In this video, I'm going to share with you the 5 things I wish I knew when I was trying to make more friends. By the end of this video, it's going to become super clear. The first thing you need to understand is this concept I call troughing through the snow. I remember I was skiing one time, and there was this guy I saw shoveling snow, and he was struggling, and he was trying to make this path so that people who were going skiing could get to this restaurant. And every step of the way, it looked like he was struggling, he was grunting. I'm sure he wanted to quit every single step of the way. But he kept going, and he kept coming back after a few days, maybe after a week, and finally the path was clear. And I remember, once it was cleared, I could easily walk through it. But the effort that needed to be done was that whole path needed to be shoveled out of the way, step by step, super hard, overthinking, all these things that make this process hard. But once it was done for the first time, it was going to be easy to get through this path forever, because as long as somebody walked through it every now and then, the snow wouldn't get too thick. The path would stay clear. And I learned that this is actually the same as making friends. You just need to get through this path once, really. You just need to clear the snow once. And once you do that, it will become super easy forever. But you might be wondering, like, how do I even start with that? Clear the path even for the first time if I'm already at a point where I'm trying to make more friends? I have the perfect advice for you. But if you want something more in depth, and because this video is only so long, there's only so much information I can put in. There's stuff that I don't talk about on my channel that is in my course. If you click the link in the description, you can take a look at that. But there's this concept, which is the number 2 thing I'm trying to teach you. It's called bridging the gap. I remember this one time I was going to this music festival at night. It was about 3 p.m. and I was about to get in this taxi to go out. And I remember when I got in this taxi, I did this certain thing, specific thing. I was super excited and I wanted to calm my nerves a bit. I remember I took 8-second inhales, 4-second exhales. But after that, I did something really, really interesting. In my mind's eye, visualized me talking, meeting up with people, bumping into people, saying hi, how you going, introducing myself to new people. I saw and I visualized me being super social to everybody. And when I got there, it went really, really well. Better than I imagined. And I know that a part of this is because, I was with friends and it was going to be good fun anyways. But I promise you, I got into this social flow, this super friendly state way faster than I normally ever did before this. Normally it would take me 30 minutes, an hour to warm up, get in the social flow. But this day I was just straight into it. It's almost like I tapped into the energy early when I was visualizing. Did you know that your brain can't tell the difference between real memories and ones you imagine? I have a practical piece of advice that you can take. The next time you're going to meet a friend, the next time you're going to the gym, just visualize, take 10, 20 seconds, just seeing yourself being super friendly, smiling a lot, having good conversations, laughing. See the other person liking you. When you do this, I promise you, try it out. Don't ignore this advice. When you do this, you will notice that it's a little bit easier. And as you keep doing it, you'll keep getting better at visualizing, and this will keep affecting the way you are socially. See, the reason I'm teaching you this is because if you're not a social guy, you don't have the external validation of people saying they really like you or getting invited to stuff or being really good at sports. So it's hard to get that internal confidence. But by visualizing it, since your brain can't tell the difference between real memories and fake memories, you're almost tapping into this validation, but just a slightly different way. You might be thinking, this is overconfident. The third thing that I want to teach you, bro, is that overconfidence doesn't actually exist. I remember this one time. I was sitting at lunch with my friend, and I showed her a photo of this girl that I saw on Instagram, because I know that she was friends with this girl. And I was like, bro, she's so hot. Because I was speaking to my female friend, and I was like, yo, you got to set me up with something. I remember so clearly, she was trying to let me down easy. She was kind of to be honest, I think she's a bit out of your league. And I remember this hurt my confidence, and I didn't even bother for a few months. Now, bro, you want to know the interesting part of this story? The first time I met her, I was flirting with her. I didn't do anything, but I got her Snapchat, and after I left, like, because I bumped into her socially at this like party gathering, and when I left, I'd gotten her Snapchat and she immediately messaged me saying, "Oh, we gotta hang out." And at first, this blew my mind a little. I was like, "Holy shit, this girl that I thought was too good for me, I could actually just get." Like, it kind of blew my mind a bit. Fast forward, because at this time I actually got grounded for 3 weeks, and I didn't even have a chance to go to my phone and message her or meet up with her. And so about like a year later, we're both a bit older now, I bump into her again, and I end up having a really good time with this girl. I take her out on multiple dates. I get to know her really well. When you walk through life thinking that people don't like you, worrying about being overconfident, then people aren't going to like you as much. If you walk through life thinking, here, this is a good analogy. Yesterday, I was walking out of my house and I was going towards the gym. And on the path, I saw these two girls smiling, and it seemed like they were looking at me. And I was like, oh shit, like getting a bit full of myself because I have like quite a high level of confidence. I was thinking, if I got with 10 girls in like yesterday, then that means that every girl that's smiling in my direction, I'll probably assume, oh, she's looking at me, she's got a crush on me. But then I was also thinking, if you just gotten rejected by 10 girls, you might be thinking, oh, that girl, oh, she's probably just like laughing at me. You might get offended. Oh, well, why is she looking at me and smiling? She must be making fun of me. And I realized that the only difference, like you don't actually know what she's thinking when she's looking at you. But the only difference that's going to improve your life is if you see people looking at you, or in this example, these girls driving by in the car, smiling and looking at me. If you think, oh, these girls like me, then imagine if you bumped into them later and you thought that they were looking at you. You might actually go strike up a conversation. You might actually shoot your shot. And so that's when this confidence becomes powerful. Because when you view yourself as up here, you may not get treated as up there, but you're probably going to get treated as there. But if you view yourself as here, you're going to get treated as here. So why the fuck not go up a bit, Why not think everything's tilted in your favor? Why not have a little bit of delusional self-belief, especially socially, especially with girls? Now, bro, I get it. Getting this confidence, feeling like this might seem like an impossible task, but I've got some amazing hints on confidence that isn't just the top 3 tips to be charismatic and confident. This is not talked about anywhere on the internet, but I'm not going to get too deep into it in this video. So click the link in the description. I've got my course and that information will be there. Now, this leads into my next point a bit of when I was saying, oh, if you walk through life thinking that you're a loser, then you're probably going to get treated like that. Be grateful with where you are. Be grateful for a few things you have. Because I remember this one time, I was in the gym with my friend, and I had basically been on the biggest dry streak in terms of getting girls. And it mattered to me at this time. And I remember speaking to my friend, and he gave me some really, really good advice. He said, Finn, stop fucking caring about if it's going to happen or not. If it happens, sure, it's super fun. But you should be going out and not care at all if you go out and you don't get with a girl. And for some weird reason in my mind, that was like, it just didn't click. At this time, I was very immature. This was quite a while ago. This kind of links into my next thing a bit, bro. In order to be more comfortable with yourself and to stop caring so much, you might see this tip of, oh, you guys just got to be grateful with where you are. No, don't care. And you might be thinking, oh, but I'm at a low level, so how can I even be grateful? Well, that's the thing, bro. Maybe you're not at the super lowest level. Like, most likely you have at least one friend or one guy that you go and talk to. The chances are that you don't have like Asperger's or something where it's super hard to talk to everybody. Chances are you just lost your social skills as you got older, or it became hard to meet new people, or you were just stuck in your friend group. Something I realized is that if you think that you're not in a good position, if you're not grateful for where you are, it's probably because of the people you're around. I remember this one time I was hanging out in my friend's room, and there was like 4 other guys, and all they were speaking about was getting girls. And so, of course, for the next 3 weeks, all I would think about is getting girls. Of course, right? That's when I realized that maybe I should not be hanging out with these guys so much, because the meaning of life is not trying to pull as many girls. It's to be around people you love spending time with, enjoying your journeys, having a great time through life, Not being a fucking lustful gremlin all the time. That's disgusting, bro. I stopped hanging around these guys as much. You can still be friends with them, but maybe even just if somebody's always talking about girls, just say, yo, bro, why do you talk about girls so much? And maybe just like that small hint, if you say it politely, they don't actually care too much. They just talk about it a lot. They might tone it down. But that is the fifth thing that I wanted to teach you, bro. Thank you for watching this video. If you want more help, there's so much in my course. I've helped 3 people completely transform their social lives. I guarantee within 2 to 4 weeks of you joining my course, your social life will change. You'll be a new man. Have a good day, bro. Take care.